It's absolutely fine. Well, here we are. Welcome to another edition of Beyond That Blue Door. And we're not sat on the sofa at home.
No, we're not.
We are sat on a seat, literally on a new boardwalk that's been built around Swindon. So excuse background noise, sound of ducks, people running by, because it's a beautiful Sunday and we want to make the most of the weather.
Exactly. And it's the first time that, you know, the shorts are out.
For him,
Yes.
not for me. That's a bit too much, though. I've got no socks on. One is wearing trandles. So this is progress.
Yes. And I have got some footage which I'll put up of what we're seeing.
Yeah. And also, in the other good news, London where we live, which often has quite a vanilla or beige reputation elsewhere, unfairly, has been selected for the long list for UK City of Culture 2029, along with 8 other areas. So very, very proud of that, and congratulations to the people in Swindon who've got this far.
No.
So who knows? So Swindon's a great place to live. However, Steve and I have our minds elsewhere at the moment, don't we?
We do, because in what, 3 weeks' time,
Yep.
we're leaping on a plane, flying to Chicago.
Yeah, ready for our long trip. And we've looked and we've had a bit of research today because we're now tying all the bits together that Steve's arranged, to be fair, not me. But we're now starting to tie it all together. It's coming together. So looks like the weather in our sort of journey across America and Canada will range roughly between 7 degrees and maybe 27, 28 degrees during our time there.
Yeah. Yeah, we leave Chicago, and that's the coldest bit of the Americas, if you like, all the way down on our trip to Las Vegas. But we do
Los Angeles even. That's right.
Well, that's because I put this on.
I know. We're bypassing Las Vegas.
Yes.
We're going through Nevada, but we're not stopping there.
But either way, yeah, the biggest bit is through the Texas and all that. It's really quite hot, so that's going to be in 30s. And then dipping down to 27 odd by the time we get to LA. It should be good.
So which means we are considering practical stuff like clothes. What clothes do we wear? How many clothes do we take? What clothes do we take? And Steve plans this in advance as well, whereas I tend to...
Mine is simple. So I'm going to take a few pairs of socks, some pants and shorts, and a t-shirt, and that's it. And then buy everything else out there, as and when required.
I am going to take a couple of pairs of jeans, a couple of pairs of shorts, buy things that we want. I'll probably take undies, as us ladies do, for a couple of weeks. Because in the first part, when we're in the RV, we can do washing easily.
Yes.
But in the second part, where we're on trains and in hotels, I don't know how easy that'll be. I guess we'll have to pay for laundry services if we need it.
Yeah, I would have thought so.
Yeah. And Steve's quite right. Anything that doesn't work, that gets broken, we'll just buy out there.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing to worry about. And that was the idea. So we are going with 4 cases, but 2 of the cases will be inside 2 of the other ones.
Yeah. We plan to come back with more than we go with.
Absolutely.
That's kind of our plans.
And we can post stuff if needs be. But either way, chance for a lifetime. We won't get many other chances to do this. But anyway, this part was just about the RV bit, because we are a caravanning channel, really. Well, we're kind of all sorts, but it's caravanning anyway to start with. So we got April 10th is when we go. The interesting bit is we arrive on April 10th, having done 9 odd hours.
Yeah, we are. I think
so we're going backwards in time.
Yeah, our flight's at lunchtime and we land something like 3 o'clock in the afternoon there.
Yeah, exactly. So where's all the hours gone? But anyway, never mind. And then we're going to get the train from there, where our hotel is, when we're there for 4 nights. But they are quite full on. We really only have 1 day where we can go and see. Sightsee. That'll be on the Saturday, the day afterwards. And then we pick up a hire car, and then we see what the Route 66 and roads and left-hand side driving on the left-hand side and all the rest of it. So yeah, we got that to do. The opposite side of the road and the opposite side of the car.
Yeah.
And so I just want to get used to it before I put something large on the back of me. Well, not on the back of me, that I get into actually.
But also, I mean, we want to suss out how, because these are the things no one tells you. It's a sense of scale. Here in the UK, we're quite close to everything. It's very different there.
Yeah.
So it's a sense of scale. How long is it going to take us to get to the RV park? How is it? How difficult is it? We're going to trial that.
Well, well, Google answered that for me. When you put the address of the RV park in, bearing in mind it's half an hour away from where we are anyway, but it's the first time I've ever seen a Google thing saying 30 minutes to 1 hour and 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So you get a massive time zone dependent upon the amount of traffic on the road.
And we need to cover other things like, do we get loads of food on the way to the RV park? You know, are we going to be able to pick the RV up and then stop at a nearby supermarket, fill up with food, and then move on? Because I think our pickup time is between 1 and 4 p.m. and then we've got to get to our first campsite. And we're unclear, really. We hope it's not too far away. It's a couple of hours, isn't it?
Yeah, the first one is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing they put on to me as well was, well, just put a few campsites in, and I'm looking at it going, no, it's 3 to 4 hours worth of driving per day, right? And then we ended up with 15, and we ended up with, hello?
Yeah, sorry, that's just me. Go on then, okay.
Yeah, so when actually going back to the RV side of things, because that is the first part of the holiday, it's actually spread over 22 different nights, but the 6 of them are going to be over 2 night stays on each site.
Yeah.
So the first one, well, the first 2 are quite close. And then we got a 2-hour drive from the RV place to the actual site 1, which is still in Chicago.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I think our sense of scale, and you know, it is a bit nerve-wracking. We haven't been in a vehicle like that before. There's lots of things we have done in a vehicle, but we haven't been in a vehicle like that before. We have watched a long film, about 50 minutes, haven't we?
Yep.
Of all the knobs, whistles, switches, and everything that we're going to need to know.
Hang on, some serious ducks and swans
yeah,
giving it some serious welly around here.
Appropriately, that's a Canada goose.
Oh,
that's 2 Canada geese giving
okay.
it some welly off to our left from where we're sat.
Anyway. Right, yeah, anyway, so going back to it. So that first night is, I mean, if you think we're not going to get there to about 5, then we got to work out to do. It's going to be getting dark by the time we actually settle down for the night.
And we don't know, you know, what the site's going to be like, and obviously we'll share all of that with you in due course, with a mixture of us talking about experiences and pictures. But it could be that there's nowhere to eat on site, we've got to walk off site to somewhere to eat, or we've got to have our own resources. We just don't know.
No, I can fill you in a little bit.
Oh, good, okay.
On the 16 or 15 different sites we're on, I did manage to make a list of, you know, what is full service, to which all of them are. So that's good. So that means that they got the water, the drainage, and the power as well, all in one place.
Yeah.
Which is good. But the problem is the RV uses 12 volt and 150 volts, which is their normal mains plug-in.
Yeah.
And then you have ampage on top of that. So like the air conditioning, according to the manual of the Caravan, says it must have 50 amps for it to work. Now, are we getting 50 amps? Not every site does 50, they do 30 as well. So we're going, okay, so on the sites that have got 30 and 50, we can select 50. On the sites that have only got 30, those nights we don't have aircon.
But we should be all right, because we've checked out the weather and it doesn't look like it's going to be in the 30s or 40s, which it has been when we've been to America before. So I don't think the air conditioning, I hope, but I guess it depends on humidity, is going to be absolutely essential.
Exactly. But when you look at the sites themselves, they are what they call pull-through ones. So you go in one end with a big, massive, think coach, and then you drive straight out the other side. So they're pull-through ones.
Some are, aren't they?
Most of them are. There is 1 or 2 that's not. And then, especially at the end, when you get to Hollywood,
Los Angeles, yeah, we had a look at that site. You can't pull through that one, can you?
No, I mean at that one you reverse in. So we're going to have to do that. The Motorhome does have a reversing camera on it, So, you know, we'll see.
I will manage, and to be honest, I'm not precious. I shall ask for help.
Oh,
I
God,
mean, I'll
yes.
just act dumb when I don't know what's happening.
Absolutely.
But also, also we're doing things like, you know, see, my mind's still at clothing. What clothing I'm going to take?
No, I'm not worried
What
about the
dress
clothing.
you want, you know, shorts, one dress. You know, I'm thinking of shoes, ladies. I'm thinking of shoes. What shoes? And I've decided I'm going to take trandals, pair of walking shoes. I don't have walking boots because I don't like them, but I've got walking shoes and a pair of flip-flops, and that's it.
They have shoe shops.
Yeah, I know. But we will do a lot of walking. We always walk around sites.
Yeah,
We
we
walk
will.
around places. Well, we've also now booked and paid an eye-wateringly amount of money for various excursions and attractions, haven't we?
and
We've
things,
done that now.
Yeah, so we got quite a few go outdoor sightseeing type things. There's a couple of parks visits as well, and all sorts of things. that we've
Yeah,
booked.
hop on, hop off bus. We're going to Alcatraz. You want to go there,
Oh,
don't
yeah,
you?
yeah.
We're doing some things. I forget what they are, to be honest. Oh, we are doing the boat on Niagara Falls. We are doing that, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
And then various things in Vancouver and Toronto that I'll worry about when we get there, really. That, like, climb up this high thing, look through this glass thing, that
Yes.
kind of stuff. But we've paid for all that. And also they've booked us a couple of restaurants, haven't they, that are popular that we
have.
want to go to.
They have, yeah. Now, also, we have. I'm going back to the Heathrow bit. Like, you did a funny fictitious
Yes,
thing, didn't
I
it?
did, yeah.
Trying to work out if we just drove to Heathrow and left the
Parked.
car there, all right, in one of their car
Yeah, I
parks,
could
how
tell
much would it cost?
It would. I chose a middling car park, not the one right close,
Yeah.
not the one furthest away. So I chose a middling
There's not
one.
even a short stay.
No,
one.
it's not a short stay one, and it was £2,080 for us to park for that long.
So yeah.
So we've got a
This
driver.
is a driver.
We've
driver
got a
job.
driver because a driver there, because of time of day matters. So driver there is about 200 quid.
Yeah.
And there's about
but
250
coming
on the
back,
way
it's
back.
like 6 o'clock in the morning. It's like
Yeah, which
early,
means a
isn't it?
driver have to leave 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning to come and get us. So, but overall, having a driver taking us less than 500 quid, so it's 25% of the cost of parking there. So it's not worth it.
No. So I'm looking forward to it now. Should be good fun.
Yeah. We're getting there, and there'll be other bits and pieces that will come up. We're just trying to work out how much cash. I have asked for my birthday. At time of recording, it's about 9 days to my 60th birthday. I have asked for dollars, which our children think's really boring because there's nothing to open. But it's, as I pointed out, it won't be boring when we're there, and we need to pay tips or cash.
Yeah.
We need dollars. So hopefully I'll get dollars for my birthday. Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to buy any for it.
No. But you had a few dollars for yours, didn't you? And we had some dollars for
they're
Christmas.
in the envelope ready.
Yeah.
So yeah, but there's lots. There's more to come. We're going to be doing some filming nearer the time, but it's touch and go because it's like a few hours after we land.
We might just do a tiny little update of here we are a few days before.
Yeah.
Just to update you and how we're going to manage filming when we go. We're just going to suck it and see, aren't we?
Yeah, absolutely.
I've also, on another note, already met with my book mentor and come up for chapters for my book about this journey.
Cool.
And we've decided on a working title for the book. So wheels are already in motion for that.
Good.
And there was another thing. Oh, yes, there was another thing I was going to say.
What was it?
I can't remember.
Can't remember.
It's just gone. It must be because I'm nearly 60.
An age thing.
It must be an age thing.
How are we?
I'm getting excited. Are you getting excited yet?
I'll be excited when we're on the way to the airport. That's what I'm like, Amanda.
I
Steve is the consummate planner. I'm the turn up on the dayer.
I've been excited for nearly a year.
I'm excited too. I'm more like Steve, and my mum's exactly the same as you. She says, until I'm sat on that plane or checked in at the airport with a drink in my hand, then I know I'm definitely going.
Yeah.
And that's when she gets really excited.
Well, she had to get an ESTA and ETA and stuff, so we have a little bit of excitement.
We have done all that. Yeah, I'm not just Steve. The planning's part of his enjoyment. To me, the planning's just the effort.
Yeah, but there's loads of it.
Yeah.
I'm on Steve's side, though, I've got to say, because that's why I do this for a living, right? Because
Yeah, of course.
So much.
Yeah.
I've got to say, for me, it's definitely the fun part too. It really, really is. Not long now, is it?
No.
23 days, according to the Bon Voyage app.
I was going to say, have you got your phone? Have you got your app?
Yeah.
Yes.
Brilliant. That was my next question. Yeah, because I was called about that earlier. So day one, when you've got here, you've got your, as you go onto your app, you see day one, fly from London, and down the bottom of the app, it will just have things for you down the bottom, which will say general flight information, IATA conditions, ESTA application. You've already got yours, so you don't need that. It's got ETA, you don't need that. The one that you will need is second to last, United online check-in. So you can just click that link and that'll take you through to your check-in 24 hours in advance. And then you'll have your accommodation voucher. Where's my camera? Down the
What
bottom.
are you looking at? Oh, right, hang on.
So when you're United, so along the bottom, when you click on day one, it says 5 minutes to Heathrow. If you scroll across down the bottom, we've got all the little tabs down the bottom here.
Yeah.
And you scroll across, it actually has the online check-in there. So you can just click the button rather than having to worry about trying to find it online, log yourself in. It's all on there.
Okay.
Obviously, you won't be able to access it now because it's not 24 hours in advance, but you will be able to access it.
Yeah.
And then you've got the Air Canada, you've got all your different various check-ins all connected to that. So you will need to check in for each flight, obviously, because they're different times.
Yeah.
But as you go through, you'll be able to, on each day, you'll be able to go through and link it automatically.
And you can do it on this app instead.
Okay.
Oh, that's
Absolutely.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It just makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, it does.
Now, then you don't need it, but we do accommodation vouchers. So where it says day one with a picture of the bean and it says high eccentric, you'll see down the bottom it says flights and then it says accommodation voucher, which is the second one just there. You see the picture of the bean on there?
Yes, there.
That's what that is.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's massive bean they got.
Oh, okay, yeah.
She can't because I've got a massive bean.
Yeah, accommodation voucher at the bottom.
And it says accommodation voucher. So if you click on that, that is just a copy of your accommodation voucher. You don't need it. It's all done electronically. But just in case you get there and somebody says, oh, we don't know about that, you go, here you go, here's the voucher, basically.
Yeah, okay,
it's just
that's fine.
Oh, is that for every single hotel then?
We've done it for every hotel, we've done one for every hotel, every RV camp, just so you've got the backup of all the information when you get there.
Yeah.
You shouldn't need it, but it's just nice to know you've got it if you do.
Okay, cool.
So that's on there. And then as you go along, you might see there's a little button in the bottom corner, here next to the voucher that says posts. Can you see?
Yeah.
Yeah. That is where you can upload photos daily of your adventure and you can put little bits on. And when you get back, if you want to buy a photograph book, it comes down and automatically makes a photograph album for you at the end of a photo book at the end of the trip.
Yeah.
Okay.
Really clever. So you can put pictures like, I don't know, this is Steve smiling as he picks up the RV and a big picture of you in the RV, you know, sort of like thing. And then, you know, all that really fun stuff as you come down, which would be brilliant.
So don't forget, folks, please like,
Subscribe. No, like. You say it. Go
Okay. Please like, subscribe.
on. And hit the little bell. See you soon.